Just checking some settings right now. Okay, I think we are all set. All right, well, welcome. My name is Nicole. I am doing some art on the iPad today. I'm not the best artist, but I've always been interested in art, crafting, things of that nature. Used to sew back in the day. I still sew, quilting, stuff of that sort. Haven't been into that in a little while though, but been real busy. I have 2 kids. My youngest actually just started preschool, so my husband and I decided to have me live stream me drawing, and so we got the iPad and decided to get Procreate. I'm like, okay, because traditional art kind of gets me a little uppity. I just get frustrated, so I'm always like, oh, that's not right, I erase it. Oh, that's not right, I erase it. And it gets frustrating for me when I can't get things symmetrical and stuff, and watch some videos online about Procreate and how you can just undo with the touch of a hand without having to sit there and erase, and then having little lines there still, doing layers, and I'm like, that's amazing. So I've had this iPad for a couple months now, and I really enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not the best artist, but my husband really likes my art. He's like, you're really good. I think you should just do art on stream. So maybe if people needed some help or just get inspiration, because I'm always watching people do art and crafts and stuff, and I get inspired by their work. So he's like, well, since the kids are in school now, why don't you go ahead and just do streaming yourself, and if no one watches, that's fine. And he's like, if you get a couple people, that's cool too. So he's very supportive, and I appreciate that. So today, he's like, why don't you make me a logo? Because he's a gamer. He loves games. We both love games. We've been gaming since we were little. You know, we grew up in the 90s. So we basically had like the old systems, and you know, he just recently got the newest Xbox X. So he's been doing Apex Legends as his favorite game right now. So he wants me to make him a logo for all the games that he used to have and the games he likes now. So like RuneScape was one of his favorite ones back in the day. Halo. He had Halo for the original Halo. And World of Warcraft is a game we played together, and we really enjoyed it. He liked Call of Duty for a little while there, and then he just started getting frustrated with it. And he loved League of Legends, so that's what I'm doing now. I think his name is Xerath, something like that. I could be saying it wrong, but that's all right. So yes, that's what I'm doing right now, is a logo for him, because he asked me. He's like, make me a logo. I'm like, okay. So that's what we're doing today. It's gonna be a multi-day thing, so sit back, get yourself some coffee or water, tea, juice, whatever you want to drink. I got me a coffee and a water. Got some snacks. I don't have any music right now, which is fine. I'll play with that next time. I might pop a headphone in to listen to music while I'm doing this. And if you want to do the same, have one earphone in and watch me, that's cool too. So let's go ahead and keep going, because I got the line arts down. This is my reference. Not perfect by any means. It's just like a rough line art. Now I'm doing coloring. The thing is, with me and coloring, I get very frustrated, along with like traditional art. And what happens with me is I'll do coloring and then I don't like it. I need to learn shadows and highlights. That is my problem. I'm just one coat kind of person, and I'm like, well, I don't like it. because I don't have any details in there. So I need to learn to take my time, because that's my problem, is I rush through the art and I don't try to do like little details. So like I said, it's gonna take a couple days, which is fine because I got other things to do. I'm hoping Friday I'm gonna bring you into the kitchen, because like I said, I like arts and crafts. I'm gonna bring you into the kitchen. We're gonna make some calendula salve. I watch like homesteading channels and stuff. I have a little raised bed garden. At our house we have mango trees. My husband loves mangoes. He's allergic to mangoes, the skin, but he loves eating the flesh of the mangoes. So guess who gets to peel and cut up the mango? Me. So, like I said, we have mangoes. We have 2 banana trees, but they've been out there since we moved in, and they're so tiny. Oh, come back here. And, so yes, I have a little garden. I've grew a couple things. Right now it's summertime. I live in Florida, so summertime in Florida is not the best time to grow anything. So right now I have some sunflowers, and I have loofah plants, like the loofah sponge. I grew them last year and they grew so fast. I should take a picture and post it on here, but yeah, they're kind of crazy looking, but they grow so well during the summer, and you don't have to water them as much as you would have to water like any other plant. So when you garden here in Florida, it's more like a fall, winter, early spring, because it just gets too hot here, especially for like the cold weather or cool weather crops like broccoli, lettuce, and stuff of that sort. It just bolts too fast. But yes, back to the calendula salve, because sometimes I get a little off topic. I grew calendula flowers, and my boys and my husband, they have very sensitive skin. So sometimes they'll go outside and get bit by bug, or have dry skin during like winter time and stuff. So I just wanted to make some homemade salve, just to try it out with calendula oil. If I like it, great. If not, I'm never going to make it again. But, well, never say never, because you never know. So yeah, we're going to do that on Friday. So you're going to be in the kitchen with me for a little while. I have everything. I've had everything for like a while now, but I was waiting for my children to go to school, so I don't have to worry about them in the background screaming or having their tablets and TVs on and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring some more. If anything pops in my head, I'll mention it. If anyone wants to join, that's cool with me. If not, that's fine too. And any questions, I'm here. I'm going to stream until noon today. Maybe longer, maybe short. I'm going to try noon, not shorter than noon. And then we'll see if I can do the streams a little earlier or later, as we go along. But, or more days a week. Because right now it's Tuesdays and Fridays for now. Because my husband works, every day except for Wednesday he closes, so he'll be here in the morning, and then Thursday he's off, so that's going to be me and his time, to hang out without the kids. It'll be the first time without the kids in a long time. So yes, we'll go from there. But yeah, I want to start drawing now, so enjoy. I hate that when that happens. Probably should do that first. No, it's okay. Why does it do that? Why? Okay. I'm gonna go back to this line art here. I'm gonna erase these because they're throwing me off right now. Throwing me off, man. So you're gonna go bye-byes. Goodbye. See you never. I'm not trying to be perfect about this. I am just... Because my husband, he says I'm a good artist. And, anyone's going to say this about their art, but they're going to be like, well, I'm not that good. Well, you're not good as somebody else's, oh, that's really good. My husband's not that creative. He's always like, I always appreciate your creativity. And he likes creativity. It's just he can never translate it into his own stuff. So he leaves that for me, apparently. But he's very supportive in what I do. Because he's the only one working right now. I've been a stay-at-home mom with our kids since my oldest was a year old. Because what happened was my oldest, when he was a year old, he pulled a pan of hot grease on himself, and he burnt himself on his chest and his stomach and on his arm. And I was working 3 days a week at that time, and my mom and dad would watch him for me because he was in daycare. So I had my mom and dad watch him, and basically I just didn't want them to have to deal with his bandage changes and stuff, because I had to change his bandages twice a day, and it was always painful. Could you imagine getting burns on at that time? It was like a quarter of his body. He was a little guy. He was a year old. And so I left my work, and it took like a half a year for the burns to finally heal completely, but it was still red for a long time after that. For at least another year, they were red for a while. So he still has the scar. It's flesh colored now. Like, he doesn't remember it, thank goodness, because could you imagine if it happened if he was like 4 or 5? He'd be traumatized. I feel like he is traumatized already by doctors, because before he had his burns, he had to have a helmet for his head because he had a flat head. So he had to go to doctors in and out then too. And basically I feel like he was traumatized when he was little, which who wouldn't be if they were in traumatic situations like that. So yes, he was healed after about a couple months. Did his bandages changes. They told us to do it in the shower, which helped out a lot, because when you peeled the bandages off, it would stick and it would just be painful. So I'll just put him in the shower, and that worked fine. He was fine. Like I said, he don't remember any of it, thank goodness. So yeah. So back to me being a stay-home mom. I was gonna go back to work when my oldest was in preschool, but then I found I was pregnant again. So okay, well, fun stuff. Guess because I went back to college is what it was. I went to college before I had my oldest, did a little bit of school, and then I tried doing school when he was like a baby, and that was really tough. So I waited until he was about 2 or 3, and I went back to college to finish my degree in biology. Did all online classes until the very end, when I decided to do in-class classes. I saved my science classes and my math classes, because math is my worst subject. I am not good with math at all. You can talk to my husband about it. He understands. He's like, how did you do your math? And I'm like, I don't even know. But I'm glad I had really good teachers. But I graduated college when I was 6 or 7 months pregnant with my youngest. I was going back to college when my oldest went to preschool, and I found I was pregnant that October, that when he was in preschool. And so I'm like, all right, well, let me just finish this college and then we'll go from there. So basically, we thought we were going to be moving and stuff, and that was just this whole nother story, fact of the matter. But so basically finished my degree in biology, and yeah, sometimes I ramble, so please forgive me. I'll get there. Maybe it'll come back to me where I was just at, but yeah, so I've been stay-at-home mom for that long. Just haven't gone back. I was thinking about going back this year. But then my husband's like, about my art, how I described earlier, how he thinks maybe doing something I love. That's what he's very supportive. He's like, I don't want you to go to work and then only work, because I'd only work a couple hours a day, like 4 hours a day, which isn't much this day and age, as everyone should know. It just wouldn't be worth me going to work and then coming home, picking up the kids, and then all that stuff. So he's like, well, why don't you do something that you really like to do? Draw, craft, that kind of stuff. Stream it, so I can, do something for myself, because I've been doing things for the kids since they were born. I'm always doing things for them. So this is my time, he calls it. It's my time. It's exactly what he calls it, my time. So, yeah, because I don't have many friends. My best friend passed away last year from cancer. She was battling it for a while, and she did all the treatments and stuff, and she tried her hardest to combat it, but it overtook. So it is what it is, as people would say. I'm always sad. I'm always thinking about her and her family, her mom and her sister. And yeah, so like I said, I have other friends, but I'm very bad about texting people back, talking to people in general. Social anxiety plays a part in that, but mostly just being at home with the kids for so long, just made it so I was like this. But I'm going to get better, I promise, because now that my kids are in school, I get to do whatever I want when they're at school. So here I am. So let's see. Yes, that's the one I want. Let's see. Is this going to be too big? Why? That's good. All right. So yes, this is his little emblem thingamajigger. Probably want to do that a little bit lighter. Man, I wish I could have. Let's see. It's like we're gonna guess. What color is that? It's like a muted yellow. Yeah, let's go with that. We're gonna go with that one. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. All right. And then it comes up. And I'm going to delete this line art too here in a little bit. So it looks like it's more or less... I'm very bad with lights, like the direction of light. Perspective, I guess it's called. Maybe. Where did that color go? make sure I was on this, on the right layer, because it's been a many a times where I'll be on the wrong layer doing something. I'm like, man, I should have been on a different layer, but here we are. Ooh. Hi, stop it. Oh, don't go that far back. I want that one. Okay. Yes. I'm not shy about talking to myself. You can talk to my mom and sister because they're like, you always talk to yourself when you're little, playing your games in your room. They'd be like, who are you talking to? I'd be like, I'm not talking to anyone. Oh, you talking to Sally? They called my whoever, just me talking to myself, my imaginary friend, they always called Sally. So when I got my first car, I named her Sally. Never forget. Never forget that. So what I need to do is I need to darken this up a little bit. See, I'm just very bad at getting perspective stuff. But then again, my husband does not care if it's perfect. He just thinks I do a real good job. This is darker color, like the little chips and stuff. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about like the little chip right over here in the reference photo. It's not supposed to be like completely like the picture, because that would be tracing or whatever it's called. And let's see, I probably need to do a little tiny to get these dark shadows here. Maybe that'll brighten it up. Not brighten it up, but you know. Oh, ooh, darn you. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself right now. So yes. I mean, anyone that's gonna look at this can be like, oh yeah, I know who that guy is. If they know League of Legends. If not, they'll be like, who is that fella? Because the only reason why I know who this guy is because my husband liked to play this guy a lot. So that's the only reason why I know who this fella is. Where are you? There you are. Okay. And then we're gonna do a little bit. There we go. Ha ha ha. And then we're gonna do. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back up here. No, I'm gonna use that dark color again. I'm gonna do dark color all the way around, and then we're gonna do some other color, like a blue color, because it looks like blue in here. This is just dark. Isn't that from somewhere? Sorry if you can't hear me. Sometimes I talk loud, sometimes I talk not loud. Move my keyboard out that way. Okay. And yeah, so I appreciate my husband for letting me do this. And it's just nice to have quiet time to do something that you like to do. Because we bought him his Xbox One, and we have a shed that was our workout shed, our storage shed, and my husband decided he likes the game. He's always wanted to be a pro gamer. Funny. He's a real good gamer. He wants to practice to be a pro gamer. So he's always thinking that people that play with keyboard and mouse for like Xbox and PlayStation, computer players, they're so much better than people that play with controllers. That's in his head. So he ended up getting the keyboard mouse set up for his Xbox X, and we got him a desk. So we set him up in the shed, because I can just imagine him playing in the house where he was playing, because he gets real loud when he's playing with his headphones on, and it'd be nighttime and the kids would be trying to sleep and he's yelling. Many a times I'll have to go over there and shush him, and then he gets loud again. So it's like probably best that he stays in the shed. Yeah. So he dug a trench from our house to the shed. He drilled a hole through like the molding of the doorway to the backyard, and we have this 100-foot long Ethernet cord from inside the house all the way. Now it's underground. Like I say, he dug a trench for this cord to the shed for his Xbox X. And let me tell you, he's been out there after work, on his days off, all day, basically. And I don't mind, because it's something he likes to do, and he works a lot. He works like 47 hours a week, which doesn't seem like a lot, but his work only allots 47 hours. If he wanted to work more, I'm sure he would work more, because he's worked more in the past when they allowed overtime. But a lot of places now aren't allowing overtime, so he can only work the hours he can work. And he works an hour away, so he drives an hour to work, he drives an hour home from work. He wakes up at 4:30 almost every morning, except for Wednesdays, Thursdays, and one of the days off he has off on the weekend. It's either Saturday or Sunday, and it rotates. And then he doesn't get home, and he gets off work at like 5. Sometimes he stays later, and he doesn't get home till like 6:30. And then if he has to get up at 4:30 the next morning, he's usually tries to go to bed between 11. It's tough. So I let him have his freedom to do, fun, unless I need him to do something. Like, oh, David's my husband's name. I'm Nicole. It's unless I need him to, take out the trash. Can you wash these couple dishes? If I need him to do something, he'll do it. So that's the good thing about that. But for the most part, I just let him be. It's his stress reliever. He could have worse stress relievers, like bad stuff or whatnot. So, yeah, just let him do what he's gonna do. And yeah, so yes, he's been doing that for a while. I think he's had that set up out there for, I'm not even sure how long now. At least a month. So, yeah, but he's been enjoying it. We have an AC unit in the shed. Should mention that, because with the Xbox, it got hot real fast. Because, what we had out there before, we were mining Ethereum. So we built the computers that mine the Ethereum with the GPUs, but once we found out the Ethereum stuff was going down, and so we ended up selling our GPUs except for one, which is in the main computer, which is I'm using for this, the computer we have in here. And I love it for my computer because I was playing World of Warcraft and it just made the graphics look so good. Because our computer we bought years ago, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I would say we bought this computer, and it was like a pre-built computer. Like a person built it by, all the components. We've had to add a couple things like the Wi-Fi, the internet adapter. That's what it is. The internet adapter went out. Had to buy a new one for that. Got a new GPU for it, and we had to get a new SSD card because the SSD card that was in there ran out of space. Surprise. But that was back in the day when, terabyte was a lot of money. We bought a terabyte SSD card a couple years ago and replaced the old one, and I haven't had any storage problems since. I still have World of Warcraft installed in here, and World of Warcraft has a lot of memory and stuff of that sort. So yeah, so we have the AC unit in the shed so that it stays cool in there, especially when he's gaming. And like he's got his desk, his chair. He keeps messing around saying he's going to get a mini fridge. We had a mini fridge, but we had to give it to my mother-in-law, which is fine because we weren't using it at the time. But now that he's got his streaming setup, his gaming setup in there, he's like, "Oh, I need to get that." I'm like, "Well, we gave it to your mom." He's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, geez." He doesn't have the best memory. Can't fault him for that. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his head all the time, so that's fine. I'm the rememberer of the relationship. I remember everything. Except for when I don't. And then I'm the one feeling like an idiot. Like, how did I not remember that? But that's fine. I mean, it's not like he has to walk far. It's only like maybe 50 feet. Maybe from the shed to the kitchen. Come out of the shed, walk in the house. Sometimes I lock him out on accident, and I think it's funny because he'll be trying to wiggle the handle, and I'm like, oh, at least I'm home. At least I'm in the living room where I can see him. At least I didn't leave the house. But yeah, I probably should get him a key made to the back door. Maybe we can do that on Thursday when we go out together. We'll see if I can remember. So yeah, so far I'm having a real good time. Talking more than I thought I would, but that doesn't surprise me because I like talking to myself. Not like I like talking to myself, but I guess I'm good at talking to myself. So, I don't know. Let me know if you think I talk too much. Just kidding. Don't let me know that. I feel bad. Just if any questions, anything you want to see done, you want me to draw something, leave me some suggestions. Sometimes I can't talk, blah, blah, blah. But yes, so enjoying myself real well right now. So yeah, I might stream on Wednesdays or see what we're doing this Wednesday. If he's gonna be in his room shed for most of the day, or if we're going to spend some time together before he goes to work. Next Wednesday, reminds me, next Wednesday I will not be able to stream because I have a medical procedure going on that day. I'm fine, just medical procedure. So, yeah, I'll be fine. Hopefully. I'm just kidding. I will be okay. I'm just hoping this medical procedure will help my problem. It's just back problems. I know I might be too young for back problems, but accidents are real. So, yeah. But, so I think I'm just going to color all of his armor gray to begin with, and then go in with little details afterward, because I feel like that's what I need to do. I feel like that's the right thing to do. Back to the drawing, because I've been talking a lot about my life instead of the drawing. But then again, some of this has to do with life, you know, like my husband and I with our gaming and stuff. I should make this a little bit bigger so I don't have to sit there in one spot. Haha, that might be a little too big, but it's nice. It's like one extreme to the other. It's like real tiny to real big. Real tiny, real big. This little spiky guy here. Spike. Okay. I need to learn to color in one direction. So I'm like this way, and I'm like that way, and all over the ways. Da 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 da. Just a little curious right now. How do yeah. I'm lost, don't mind me. Sometimes I get lost, but then I find myself again, so just ignore me. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out some stuff. Yes, I'm just looking around, curious. Okay, I'm back. Back to the drawing. I'm surprised that the cats haven't come to bother me, especially the female cat. Her name's Gigi. They're my sister's cats, and my sister got them when she was working like 12-hour days at work. When she was working at her one job, she wanted companion, so she got the cats. And she's working in another job now, so she only works from like 7 to 4, 7 to 5, and she works like couple minutes down the road, 20 minutes maybe, 15 minutes down the road. She lives with us, as does my mom. My mom and sister live with us. My dad passed away 4.5 years ago, January of 2018. I was 4 months pregnant with my youngest, and so my sister was going through a divorce at the time, because she's 2.5 years older than I am, and she was married, and she was going through a divorce, so she was out of the house with her ex-husband, and she decided to divorce, and then she stayed with my mom and dad. And then when dad passed away, mom and my sister decided to move out, because my mom and dad were living with my uncle, and my sister moved out first, and then my mom moved in with her, and then after I had the baby, my youngest, we thought we were going to move, like, out of the state of Florida. I think we were going to move to Virginia or something like that, which of course we never did. So we moved to an apartment complex for like 7 months, signed a 7-month lease, and basically we're there, and then my mom moved in first, and then my sister moved in, and then we ended up renting a 2-story house, because we still weren't sure if we were moving to Virginia or out of the state or what we were going to do. And then in 2019, we decided to look for a house. Well, I think we were just looking for houses for, like, fixing up and then reselling. But something happened, and we found just houses because we were tired of renting, throwing away our money. Some people love to rent, which is fine. We just wanted a house that was our own. So we found this house, and we closed in December of 2019, right before the pandemic hit. Because it happened. I remember it was my son's birthday, and we were going to take him to the fair, and you heard all this news about what was happening with this virus and people getting sick and dying and stuff. It's like, what's happening? And our little town, not little town, but our city in Florida, we were just like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden they shut down the fair. It's like, okay, that's weird. And then it was like a Friday, it was his birthday. We took him out of school because he had a doctor's appointment. Took him to his doctor's appointment. We were going to take him to the fair. That closed down. And then we ended up going to Medieval Times. We were going to go to Medieval Times. That shut down. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then Monday, he was supposed to go back to school. I mean, during the weekend, they're like, okay, well, maybe we might have to shut down the schools because it's starting to get real. And so basically they did. Monday came, they're like, nobody can go back to school. So he had to do distance learning for the rest of the school year, which was tough on a lot of the kids and parents, because they shut down everything. My sister and husband, they were necessities. What are they called? Something. My husband works at a grocery store. He's an assistant meat manager, so they need people for grocery stores. So he didn't have a pause in his work. And my sister at the time was working for a water bottling company. So water was a necessity also. So they both had to work. But my mom, she worked for the school board. She works in the cafeteria, so her job wasn't as necessary at first until they're like, well, a lot of these kids, they rely on school lunches and breakfasts to eat. So basically they started this thing where they had the cafeteria workers go in, bag up breakfast like juice, milk, fruit, whatever the breakfast item was, do lunches, and they'd be at different schools or different areas and different locations in the area, and be like, if your child goes to school or if your child's under 18, come get breakfast and lunch. First it was like every day you had to go, and then they'd give it to you, like you'd have to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, let's just say. And then at the end, sometimes it'd be like, oh, just come at one day a week, and it'd be for the whole week or something like that. So yeah, it was just crazy, that pandemic stuff. And the start of the next school year, I had him do distance learning at first because it was still going on before they were able to get shots and stuff. And then he did that for the first 9 weeks. And after that, they did the social distancing for a long time there. They had to wear their masks that whole year because he went back after the first 9 weeks. He did get the virus. Was it this year? It had to have been this year. It was the beginning of this year. Or was it last year? Everything blurs together. It had to have been last year because he got it. And like I said, I have my mom and sister living with us, and my husband and my youngest and I. My mom and sister didn't get it. My youngest didn't get it. But me and my husband got real sick. We didn't test ourselves. I think we might have tested my husband. I don't remember if we tested him or not, but we got real sick. And me and my husband had gotten the shot. So we're like, okay. I mean, it's true what they say. Like, maybe we would have had much worse reactions if we didn't have the shots, but it's with everything, you know? All the different viruses that have been out there, and then they got the vaccines for it. There's still chances of you getting it, but the chances of it being worse or more, sometimes it's hard for me to find words for things, but it would probably be worse if we didn't have the shots for these things. Basically what I'm trying to say. My husband's better with words than I am in finding the right words. I'll ramble on and he'll be like, well, why didn't you say that like this? And I'm like, because my brain don't think like that. My coffee's all gone. So yes. But yeah. Let's see, it should be real dark in here. Real dark. Layer it on. So yeah. It's 11:07 already. Sorry for being a little bit late, by the way. I was supposed to start the stream at 10. I did start, but I forgot to press start stream. My bad. Sorry about that. But I'm here now, so I won't do that next time. Now that this is my first stream and I'm getting used to it, it took me like a whole week to figure out the setup, watching videos. Thought you'd just be able to plug things in and be like, oh, it's working. No, not working. Got to change settings because at first my camera kept going in and out. And then I got that figured out. And then it was making like the weirdest noise when I'd play back the recording. And I'm like, why is it doing that? So I got this microphone, which hopefully I'm not talking too low. I can always move the microphone closer to me. But yeah, got the microphone. So I figured out, the little settings, and I'm like, okay. And then I tried plugging my tablet into the computer and nothing was happening. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, maybe I need a capture card, because I watched, plenty of people, art streamers and gaming streamers, and they're always talking about a capture card. I'm like, okay, well, I guess let me get a capture card. So I ordered that. That came in, and I realized that the cord I had wasn't going to work because I didn't realize you had to have the HDMI to the tablet cord. I thought you could just use the USB, because I have the iPad, to USB that did not work. So I had to run to Walmart yesterday because it was the only place close by that would have it. That wasn't like Best Buy or Staples, where it'd been like super expensive. So I had to go to Walmart yesterday to get this cord, and I'm glad I checked it because I've been, checking the stream, like trying to do the configuration before I did the stream because I knew I wanted to start today. Today was the first day. I'm like, okay, my youngest started school yesterday, but I wanted to make sure I had everything running because I had a doctor's appointment yesterday anyway. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that I was just doing my setup, and then I'm like, oh crap, I need this cord. So I ran to Walmart, got my cord, plugged it in. At first it wasn't coming up, and I'm like, why isn't it coming up? And eventually it did, and I'm like, okay, good. And then it was upside down and backwards, and I'm like, what is happening here? But I figured that out. Did a little test, and it was working. I'm like, oh, great. So I was all set. So, yeah, it was just funny how it's like last minute I'm like, oh man, I need a cord. But now I know. And so I have my stream. If it's too bright or too dark, just let me know. I have this little light here. On, off. I don't know, do I look more red? I just look like crazy. But yes, I'll leave that on for now. But yes, my stream is in my living room, so do not mind me. That's why I'm doing this when nobody's home, because like I said, I live with my mom and sister. We have the kids. That's just my phone going off. It's all right. Just advertisement. And it's just quieter, and I don't have to worry about people like coming and going behind me, or my kids or my mom and sister be like, oh, what you doing? What you doing? What are you doing? They do that a lot. So that's why I'm doing this stream from like 10 to 12. I might do to 10 to 1. Like I said, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, so far I'm not doing a lot of drawing or coloring. I'm more or less talking, which is fine because I don't talk to anyone besides my kids, my mom and sister, and my husband. So I need some more peoples to talk to. So thanks for listening. Yeah, but can you believe it's 11:12 already? So this is what I'm talking about. Like, it looks weird from up close, but like kind of far away, it's all right. I like the emblem thing here. What I'm thinking about doing is, let's see, go back here. Maybe using this, what is this smudge tool? Soft brush. And like fading the outline. Oh, maybe. Let me do it here. So it's not as, okay, that's not too bad. Where am I at right now? Okay. Just had to make sure I wasn't in the coloring area. Does that look alright? Does that look weird? I'm very, what's the word? I'm very hard on myself when it comes to my own art and stuff. I don't know why. I guess everyone's their own biggest critic. But my husband's like, draw me a picture of some mountains with a waterfall. And I'm like, okay. So I did this. Just fudging around with the iPad, with Procreate. And I showed it to him. This took me maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And he thought this was the most amazing thing I've ever done. And I'm like looking at it like, there's so much wrong with it. There's so much wrong with it in my eyes. But he's like, that is amazing. And I'm like, well, some of this is just like the stamp tools and the brushes. You know, like the moon, the birds, the trees. I wish I could draw trees like that. I probably could draw them if I took my time. And that's my problem is I feel like I'm always in a rush. Like I want it perfect right away. So I need to slow myself down and just take my time. So he's like, that's amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay. He even sent it to like a bunch of his coworkers. And he's like, look how great this is. And I'm like, okay. But like I said, he's my biggest fan. He is my biggest fan. So it's nice to hear from him. What? Go away. Okay. But yeah, I'm just debating on if I like the fuzziness to the line art. I can always make the lines again. Maybe with a different brush. I don't know, we'll go from here. But yeah. So far I like the stream setup and all that. If you want a different camera angle, I can always put it like more in front of my face instead of me looking like this. I can have it over here, whatnot. Just I'll do different things, make it interesting. Put it there, put it over here. Friday you're going to be in my kitchen with me. I had to get an extension for the cord because the webcam cord is not long. So I'm hoping you'll reach into my kitchen with me and you'll be able to see a bigger view of me. You won't be looking at the iPad, of course. We'll be doing calendula salve. I have no idea how long it's going to take. It doesn't seem like it's going to take that long. It's more or less just the waiting for it to set. So maybe we'll do that and then we'll come do some more drawing. And we'll go from there, I guess. But let's see. So far this just feels normal to me talking to myself. But yeah. Let's see here. Maybe the smudge tool's a little too big. Is that better? Maybe. Let's go back up here for a minute. I know there's like extra lips and stuff. Like this is gonna be blue down here, so I don't even know why I'm messing with this line art down here. I'm just on a roll with the line art, I guess. Sometimes I just have to recheck things. I love how you can zoom in and zoom out to work on pieces, like if it's like really small. I should be wearing glasses. I do not. I need to go get my eyes checked again. For the last years that I've had glasses, after wearing them for a while, my head would start hurting, and it'd only be when I was wearing the glasses. Someone told me, I don't know if it was my sister or someone told me that if your eyes hurt when you have glasses and you're on like the computer a lot or your phone a lot or watch TV a lot or something like that, if you're around screens per se, it'll make your prescription make your eyes hurt or something. So they need to tone down the prescription. I'm not quite sure what's the reasoning behind that. That's just what I was told. But I do suffer from migraines sometimes. It used to be worse when I was younger. I had my first migraine I can remember was the 3rd grade. And when I get migraines, I get incapacitated. Like, I can't do anything. I have to sit in a dark room with a fan on, ice on my head. Probably about 95 to 98% of the time, I throw up. It's that bad. So that's just something I deal with. And whenever I wore glasses, it would kind of trigger the migraines almost. Maybe felt like it to me. But yeah, so don't wear glasses. I probably should. But my oldest wears glasses. When I took him to, I think the school tested his eyes, and they're like, oh, he needs to go to an eye doctor. I'm like, okay. Took him to the eye doctor. He was in preschool. Can't talk today, apparently. Or any day. I always mess up on my words. Anyway, took him to the eye doctor, and they're like, he's only seeing like 50%. And I'm like, what? So basically we had, he had glasses. He's like, he's going to have glasses for the rest of his life. And I'm like, okay, sounds like what they told me. Like I said, I should be wearing glasses. But, so yes, he wears glasses. I remember when we first got the glasses and he went to school, like after we picked him up, and it was like the next day, the very next day, literally the next day, he comes home and they're broken. The arms are broken. So of course I had to take him back, and they had to fix him, but they had to send him out to fix him. So we only had one pair of glasses because that's all insurance would pay for. And yeah, it took 2 weeks for it to come back. Surprise. And so yes. But once he got used to it, he would put them down, and then he'd forget that they're on the floor when he was at school, and then he'd either sit on them or step on them or something. And so I got smart, and I got him these bands that go on the ears of the glasses, and they'd go around his head. At first I had the ones that just kind of, they're rubber and they go on the earpiece, and that makes it so it stays on the head. But I've got the rubber things, so it stayed on his head. And then he got used to them, and putting them down, I'm like, put them down, don't put them on the floor, put them on a table, put them on the counter, something high up so that you don't step on them or sit on them or someone do something to them. So yeah, basically, he got used to them, and we had to do like every year new glasses. I think there was 1 year I didn't take them because the insurance was being weird, and they weren't paying for his glasses or something. And then the next year, or that same year, I think we waited till income tax time, and we paid $400 for one pair of glasses. It was like the indestructible ones, like all one piece, and it had the strap on it. And I'm like, it's tough when they're young because they need new glasses every year because their eyes get better until they get to a certain age, and then they're gonna have to just have consistent glasses, you know, the frame, the lenses that'll stick with him for the rest of his life, basically. Unless something happens to his eyes, then he'd have to have them changed. But so far this year, they're the same as they were last year, so there's not much of a change. So there was like half of like a 0.5, so it changed a little bit. So we kept one pair of his glasses that he had from last year, and we got him 2 new pairs with the new prescriptions. We had gotten him the transition lenses too, back in when I bought him this $400 pair, indestructible ones. And it probably wasn't worth it because he was so young and stuff. So the insurance he has now, the closest eye doctor that takes his insurance was down like an hour and a half away. And I'm like, I don't want to drive an hour and a half away to get glasses for $100 pair of glasses. Basically, is all the insurance would pay for. And that wouldn't even be for like extra coatings or anything like that. So I ended up just taking him to an eye doctor here, spending, I think I spent $250 on glasses for him, 2 pairs this year. Next year he'll have to go to the adult glasses because he's got a big head like me and his dad. And so he'll have to have like adult glasses with the lenses. And I might, as long as his prescription doesn't change next year, I might get him the transitions next year, but we'll just have to see. It's always, you have to wait and see. So, yeah. I think I like that with the soft edges. It's like almost not there, but it's division still like this. I want a little bit more. If I ramble, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying myself. This is me, just being me, rambling. Sometimes I'll be talking to my children, rambling. And they'll be like, okay, mommy, bye. And I'm like, what? And they'll go to their room. I'll pick them up from school, and I'll be like, oh, how was your day? And I'll look back, and there they are with their headphones on, watching the DVD player in the back. And I'm like, just talking to myself all the time. It's like, okay. They are joys, though. They have their moments, but all kids do, you know? Maybe you don't know. Woo, woo. Sorry if I'm making you seasick with the back and forth here. Sometimes it's for me to like see if this looks good or not. I hear things outside. I have excellent hearing, bad eyesight. My husband, on the other hand, has excellent eyesight and bad hearing. So I hear like a truck outside, which makes sense because we have new neighbors, but it could be someone else. It's not the trash people. They came Monday. Sometimes I get distracted by social media. Sometimes I just need like a little bit of breaks from doing things. This is my one of my many breaks. But yeah, I hope people join me in these streams, because it'd be fun to talk to other people as long as they're nice, because I don't tolerate unniceness. Is that a word? It's a word now. It's a word now. Because I don't like when people are mean to other people. You know, everyone has something going on, whether it be something small or something big. You just gotta treat everyone with kindness, because you never know what people are going through day to day. Some people might be fine, but they have one bad day. Some people just have a bad day and they take it out on other people, which is not the way to do it. But we're human, you know. We all have faults. And as I said before, nobody's perfect. Nobody wants to be perfect. That'd be boring. You know? What am I coloring over here? What am I doing? It's supposed to be smudging. Smudge, 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 smudge. There we go. Smudging. Okay. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. I just can't believe how fast time's going right now. So I like that. That's nice. It's not 100%, but that's okay. I still like it. Like now, since I did the hand earlier, I did not like the way the hand was looking. But now that I've stepped away from the hand and I'm going back to look at the full picture, I like it now. Not like 100% like it, but I like it better than I did earlier, which is nice. So I'm feeling inspired and proud of myself, actually. So like I said, it's just little things work on, you know. Maybe I'll do this one over here now. Am I done with this one up here? Maybe I should go ahead and do the blues in there. Maybe I'll do that. I like to bounce back and forth from different things, and I need to focus on one thing at a time, which I have a hard time with sometimes. Especially when I'm cleaning. I'll be in my bedroom cleaning, and then I'll have to take something out, and then I'll get distracted somewhere else, and then I'll forget, oh, that's right, I was doing something in the bedroom. Okay, and I go back in there, and then I go to clean the bathroom, and then I leave the bathroom. It's struggle. I do write notes for myself a lot. I am the note taker of everything. I have to write down lists for things for me to do. Not because I'll forget, it's just to keep me in line. Be like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. Like laundry. Today I'm doing laundry, which is fine in there, because I just got 2 loads of laundry today. Tomorrow I'll probably do more laundry. I have a lot of laundry. I need to just write some notes to myself sometime. I debated about this chip in the... What is this thing called? I don't even know what it's called. The armor? Is this what it's called? Maybe. See, this is where I get kind of like frustrated because it's like it just looks like a dot to me. But then I get to look in closer and there is like a white highlight around it. So maybe, let's see. No, that just looks like it erases it. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it. Why not? We'll come back to it. It's like the hand. The hand's got a little like, Let's see. Let's go here. I think this needs to be more on the teal side. Almost greenish. Ah, yeesh. There we go. That's the color. Needs to be a little on the darker side too. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes. There we go. We got it. We have it. 'Cause it was just looking too blue, unless it's just my tablet. I mean, I guess it could be whatever color I want it to be. It's my interpretation of this fella. I might as well be like, okay, whatever. Real bright. Real bright. So need it to be more bright. Yes, there we go. Okay. I do like. Oops, it's okay. I'll go back for that. Ah, okay. Yeah. Getting there. I do like this color for like this area. Maybe I'll do a little dot up here so I know. I can barely see that. That's okay. I'll do this color and then I'll do the darker color. See, it looks more blue than the green, but when you go over here, it does look more green than when it was over here, wherever it was. Could just be making that up. Could be. Who knows? Okay. I think this needs to be a more dark. I was gonna do dark blue, wasn't I? Let's go with, what dark blues do I got over here? Let's do this one right here. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yes. That's the one. Sometimes I flip around this Apple pencil. What did I just call it? The Apple Pencil around. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable in the hand. Sometimes it just, maybe my hand just gets uncomfortable. Who knows? Okay, we're gonna have a little bit of darkness there. And then we're gonna do this over here. Just not as dark. My stomach's talking to me. But I've eaten already, so, and I've had some coffee. Do have snacks, but I don't really want snacks right now. I'm not hungry per se. I'm feeling fine. I'm gonna say that's a chip right there. Let's go and do a darker spot just for funsies. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh. 11:40. Where is the time going? Okay. I think there's another chip over here, but I'm not too certain about that. I feel like maybe it's a little too... Yeah. To tone it down a little bit. Tone her down a little bit here. I know, just... Okay. Because the light's coming from this way, so I gotta keep it lighter down there. But up here I can make it a little on the darker side. That's fine, okay. Now I need to go back to then. Oh no, I'm gonna go back to that navy purple. Looks more purple. Yeah, it's like a purple eggplant. That's the word. Eggplant colored. Yes, we're gonna do eggplant. We're gonna do darker because this is in the foreground and the light's coming from behind it, so this needs to be on the darker side. I'm debating on if I want my husband to watch this stream or not after when he comes home, or if I don't want him to ever see it. He'd probably be like, crazy. He might watch it. I mean, how long have I been streaming for? A while. Like, what, an hour and a half? Hour and 23 minutes? I don't know if he'd watch the whole hour and 23 minutes, but he might watch bits and pieces. The more I look at this circle thing, the chain length that I'm coloring right now, it looks real chunky over here. That's okay. We all have our lumps and bumps and chunkiness in some areas, don't we? Okay, how far down? Okay. Alright, so maybe it's because I know nobody's here watching me. That might be why I'm not freaking out anymore. Maybe if I start having some people watching me, I might be a little bit more. But it's just like how it was when I first began the stream. I was all like stumbling over my words, nerves, crazy nerves, and now I'm much better. So I'm hoping that's how it's gonna be when I keep streaming. Maybe I'm just worried about something happening, like something not working in the stream or something. But I do make sure before I start streaming that everything's working. I do a test recording and make sure the microphone's working, the camera's working, make sure the iPad is showing, and stuff like that. So, oh my god, where'd the 5 minutes go? I'm liking this so far. I'm surprised we've only gotten to work on this fella, because I'll show you what I got going on here. This is gonna be funny. Watch this. Okay, so we have. Okay, how can I make you smaller? There we go. All right, make it a little. Nope. Make it a little bit. There you go. Okay, so it's going to be a circle. The logo is going to be in a circle. So when I get all these things drawn, colored, all right, I'm going to place them in here. I'm not sure if he wants me to put his initials or if he wants me to put some word or something that he wants for the logo. He just wants all these characters in one. So this was my rough sketches, like really rough sketches in here. This one was Xerath. Don't ask. It's just like, oh yeah, that's the guy. Look at him. Look how cute he is. Looks like a crazy looking jellyfish. I love him. Anyways, so and then we got the line art, the coloring, and then we have Halo. This is a rough sketch. This is the little sword. I don't know what the sword's called. Forgive me. It's been a long time since he's played Halo. So he likes RuneScape. RuneScape was like one of the first games he played on the computer. This is like the Dragon Whip. Maybe that's what it's called. Dragon Claws. I know that one because I remember him. He was always wanting to play with other people, like online play. Always played online, battling against PvP, basically. That's what it's called, PvP. I never really wanted to play PvP because I grew up kind of poor, and we didn't have internet for a while, and we didn't have the up-to-date game consoles at the time. Like we had a PS1, Game Boys, stuff like that. Never really played online until I was older, and but back to him playing RuneScape, he would always play PvP, and he'd always like get the Dragon Claws or the Dragon Whip, and he'd attack and then get the people's stuff. So he loved doing that. And I'll always remember the Dragon Claws and the Dragon Whip. He might have used other things, but those are the two things I remember the most. We played World of Warcraft. I just wrote, these are just ideas that came to my head, like a sketch pad. I was just sketching down like things that he liked. World of Warcraft, RuneScape, what in those. He loved playing the shaman. He likes to be the healer. Shaman, druid, priest. He liked the priest, but I think the shaman was like his favorite one. Could be wrong, but yeah, he'd always play the healing in there. So I did this. I drew that. Of course, I had a reference photo. So I did do a reference photo for that. Don't know why I don't have one on here. Here's Apex Legends. I'm not too familiar with like what's in there. This is the little bot guy that I guess he gets things from. I don't know. but this is just a rough sketch of them. This is the logo, I'm guessing. I feel like there's more to it. This is something I'm gonna be working on later. He likes Lifeline. Like I said, she's like kind of like a healer. He's been into a couple other players recently. Octane, I think his name is. I don't know what the other people's names are. My bad, but like I said, these are things that he likes, and I know that he's played, and he's played a long time and really likes. So I love her hair, Lifeline's hair. So I'm like, I'm gonna draw her hair, and I'm gonna put the logo. Just thoughts in my head. And then here's Halo again. This is the Halo logo. These are the colors I'm going to color it. There's the sword, better looking, and then this is the gun. Because my husband, when he played Halo, he loved to snipe people. He was like a sniper in Halo. Loved it. And I loved watching him. Even when he played Call of Duty, he loved playing the sniper. He'd be like way back far, and he'd snipe people, and I'm looking at him like, how do you see those people? Could be because I have poor eyesight, and his eyes are a lot better than mine, but I'm just like, how do you hit someone from that far away in a game with the screen so small? Because back in the day with Halo, we didn't have the big TVs when we were younger. Not like we have now. So I'm just like, always fascinated. But he always liked sniping. Nowadays, he does whatever, Like I say, he doesn't play Call of Duty as much. Because of the keyboard and mouse, he said it's just those players have better advantage or something. Maybe it's just excuses he's making to make himself feel better, but now he has a keyboard and mouse, and I'm wondering if he'd want to play Call of Duty again. I guess I'd have to ask him, but he's been into Apex Legends, and usually when he's into a game, he'll play it for a long time. He did that with Halo. He played Halo for a long time. And then RuneScape, it was RuneScape for a long time, Halo for a long time, World of Warcraft. He'll switch between games. He'll play for a long time. I kind of do the same thing, but not as much. Because, I got the kids. Maybe back in the day I would. I was more, I had the PlayStation 2. That's all I went to was the PlayStation 2, but I played Spyro. I'll be doing some Spyro drawings. Jak and Daxter. I had all those games. Ratchet and Clank. Final Fantasy. When I was I don't even know, 12, 13, I got the Final Fantasy 8 game. And I played it, and it was just eye-opening. I loved it so much. And after that, I got it. The next one that came out was 10. I remember getting, and then 10-2, and then 12 for the PlayStation 2. And then that's where I stopped for the PlayStation 2. I never had another PlayStation after that. Trying to think of what other games I played. I played Crash Bandicoot. Other games I'm forgetting. Frogger. When I was real young, loved Frogger. And then we had Game Boys. Pokemon was a big one for me. We had Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. I had a bunch of the Game Boys growing up. I had the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, the DS. I didn't have... I think the DS is as far as I went for the Game Boy. But then we got the Nintendo Switch for my oldest son. And that's when I got back to playing Pokemon again. I haven't played Pokemon in a while, though. I haven't gotten any of the newer games. I think the last one I got was, what was the last one I got? Oh man, it's been probably 2 years since I bought a Pokemon game. But we bought it for my son. I think we got the 2-pack. And he would play it for a while. He's kind of like me. He'll be in the game for a while and then he'll stop playing for a while. So, but anyway. So yeah, since my husband was into Xbox, we had the Xbox 360 for a long time. And I had gotten Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 for that. It was hard for me to go from PlayStation and Game Boy games to Xbox because I've never played it before, but I got it under control after a while. The graphics hurt my head though. They still hurt my head. I can't play like highly graphic games because we got Spyro the trilogy for the Xbox S when we still have the Xbox S. I can't play it for longer than 10 minutes. My head hurts. But we bought a PlayStation 2, or we were gifted a PlayStation 2, and I can play Spyro on that just fine. So I've been getting my collection of old PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games again, and I've been really excited about that. Maybe I'll do a stream about that if you guys want to. I can do some gaming streams if you want me to. It's almost 12. It's almost time for the stream to end. Like I said, if I can probably do more longer streams and more streams per week. We'll see how this week goes. Maybe I might do something on tomorrow. I'll post it. I'm going to post, I got to create a Twitter and an Instagram page for this account, and I'll post it there. So if anyone ever wants to like subscribe to me or check out my stuff, I'll post some artwork and things that I'll be doing and try to do schedule stuff. And if ever I'm going to stream on a day that I'm normally not streaming, I'll try to post all that everywhere. So anyone that can see it, anyone that can see it. But yeah, so I'm getting I've got all the Spyro games for PlayStation. I have Final Fantasy X2 because I have Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 12 for the Nintendo Switch, which I've already beat both of those again. So I mean, I can always play them again. That's fine with me. But I got the Final Fantasy X2 for PS2. I got Crash. No, I don't have Crash. I have Ratchet and Clank. I actually ordered the Going Commando one because the Ratchet and Clank, the first one, I remember playing it, but wasn't my favorite. The Going Commando one was my favorite. Same thing with Jak and Daxter. The first one was okay, but the second one was my favorite. The third one was all right. I do have Jak and Daxter for the first one for PS2. I need to order the second one, but I wanted to play the first one a little bit more. It's just the controls kind of hurt my head a little bit because sometimes you can change the controls in them, and you can switch the camera around and the controllers around, but with Jak and Daxter you can't. At least I tried and it didn't work. So it's harder for my head to play that one. Sometimes with Ratchet and Clank, but it just depends, because sometimes it's real dark, and I don't know if it's just the TV I'm playing on, or if it's just older graphics or whatnot. Maybe I'll do that today, mess with the settings of the TV to make things brighter, but yeah, like I said, if I'm going to stream tomorrow, I'll post it on Twitch, for the schedule, and I'll post my social media and stuff. I'll work on that after here. But so far, I enjoy this. Like I said, I was nervous at first, but quite enjoy talking to myself and talking to you guys eventually. I might post this video to YouTube. Might make a YouTube channel just so I can save these videos, because you can only save so much on Twitch. Just so I can look back on and be like, why was I so blah back then? Um, but yeah, I think that'd be interesting. So thank you for coming. If you are here now or here in the future, like I said, if this comes to YouTube or if you find me on Twitch in the next couple days, enjoy the video. If you have any questions or anything you want to see drawn or done, like I said, a craft, so I'm going to be doing some do-it-yourself calendula oil salve on Friday for sure. And if you want me to do any game streams, just let me know. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye.